The B.S. Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects.
First of all,
This is the B.S. Report with Bill Simmons.
it might be cool, I don't know. And if it's not, I don't care.
The B.S. Report with Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons works for ESPN. He's also named the sports guy, and he writes a comical sports column. He must be a popular dude.
The B.S. Report.
It's got a real dirty sound, like a rusty steak knife cutting through a well-aged steak.
Now.
Here's Bill Simmons.
Welcome to the B.S. Report. Week 3 in the books. Week 4 lines are out. And I couldn't get Tashard Choice as my guest today. So I guess we're going to have to go to the Subway Fresh Take Hotline with Cousin Sal again. What's happening?
Yeah, we're back, baby. Cowboys.
Tashard was good on the post-game show last night. It was amazing. Did you see that?
I didn't see on the post. I saw the regular game where he was equally as amazing. I'm guessing. What happened? What did he say?
No, it was just very good. I mean, he was immediately better than Emmitt Smith.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm not sure that says anything, but yeah, that was. You had to be a little worried when Felix Jones limped off.
Well, thank God we have 3 solid running backs. I don't know if Felix Jones is ever going to make it through the year, but I got to hand it to him. I think I was a little tough on the Cowboys. They came off a tough week. They lose in the new stadium. You know, Wade Phillips is accused of molesting his daughter Mackenzie. We got through all of it, and Romo played well. 3 sacks, 3 turnovers. Much easier for us to win.
Yeah, the bottom line is both of those teams aren't very good.
No, I know.
I was waiting for the announcers to say it. I even tweeted it at halftime. Come on, just say it. We're all thinking it. Just say it. And we had to hear about how good the blitzes were and all that stuff. And it's like, come on, these teams aren't good.
I was thinking Jake Delhomme is probably one of 4 or 5 quarterbacks that couldn't pull away a 14-13 win there last night. But,
well, if you had to do a fantasy draft of you're giving 9 points, you're leading by 6, there's 5 minutes to go, and the guy is inside his own 30, who do you want throwing that interception touchdown potentially?
Yeah.
He's in the top 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was waiting for it because I had the Panthers getting 9.5 in my picks.
Everybody did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of points, and it just felt like it was going to be a close game, and then Jake just took care of business. But
you're getting 9.5 or 8.5 with the Panthers against the Cowboys. As miserable as their offense has been, and they're down 7-0 at half, you can go out to dinner. You could, take that reservation at Fuddruckers.
Well, the weird, inexplicable thing, Jake Delhomme, 3 times as many pass attempts as D'Angelo Williams had rushing attempts.
Is that what it is?
He would have taken. Yeah, Williams had 11 carries and rushed for like almost 6 yards a carry.
What goes on? We could see a 12-win team. A coach gets fired the next year. I don't know what. Yeah,
there's some teams. Well, now it looks like. Are you ready to write off Tennessee, or do they get one more week?
Well, it's interesting. Wait till we get to their game. We're going to pick the lines, but
because they're 0-3.
Well, they're 0-3. Maybe not this week, but.
Yeah, well, usually with 0-3, you write them off. That's it. It's over. But that's the one team that I feel, definitely we can write off Miami, write off Carolina, write off all the usual suspects. Rams,
are those 3 0-3 teams that won the division last year?
Yeah.
Miami, Carolina, Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the NFL for you, Sal.
Yeah, I love it though. I love it. And both our teams won, and I talked you out of some would have been prosperous wagers, but I guess we'll.
You
get
talked
to
me out of betting against the 2009 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which
yeah.
But the good news is I've talked you out of so many winning bets that I'm not even close to being even yet with you.
No, that's not good news. That's all bad news.
It's bad news.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
One of the fatheads on NFL Countdown said the Giants had 9 guys out, and I was like, well, maybe they, short week. I think you said it last week. The short week doesn't seem to matter anymore.
Nothing seems to matter anymore. I don't feel like home field advantage. I like the Colts more on the road than at home now.
Right. Yeah.
When the Colts are home, I'm worried. When they're on the road, I'm like, the Colts on the road. Yes.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
All right, week 4 lines. So we have a bye week this week. We're missing 4 teams.
There are 4 teams off: Atlanta, Philadelphia, Arizona, and Carolina. And
probably not a great time for a bye week if you're Carolina.
No. They should. They should play 3 times a week until they get it right. I don't know what it is with them.
For Philly, a good time for a bye week because now they've bought. Kevin Cobb's feeling great about himself. McNabb's coming back. Like that team really survived. Coming out of that 2-1, I think is pretty good.
Right. Atlanta, whatever, they're not going to miss any momentum after losing to your Pats. And
I got to say, that was the weird game of the week. Because
Atlanta? Yeah.
Well, the Jets.
Well, I think both our teams benefited from questionable offensive pass interference calls, right? I mean, that would have been a much better game. But it seems to me the gambling gods intervened with that. Like, we all love the Falcons getting 4 or whatever, and then 10 on a 2-team teaser, and we all love the Panthers getting 8.5, and one of them wasn't going to happen, and both of them shot us down. So.
The only thing I would say about the Falcons is they did absolutely nothing to win the game. Like, I didn't feel like the Pats even played that well. They made a couple big fourth downs, but all in all, like, they really could have won that game 40-10 if Brady had connected with a couple of passes.
Right.
But I didn't understand, Atlanta has these big receivers, and the Pats have been getting killed really for the last couple of years, guys going deep on them. And then the Jets blitz the living hell out of Brady. Mm-hmm. And next week, the Falcons blitz them 10 times the whole game.
Yeah.
It's weird. Why, wouldn't you throw the kitchen sink at Brady until he proves that he can handle it?
I would think so. And I guess Matt Ryan's allowed to have a bad game on the road once in a while. But
I didn't feel a lot of urgency from the Falcons, which made me, I think sometimes we underestimate that AFC-NFC thing if the NFC team doesn't need the game or the AFC team doesn't. It might be time to start factoring that in.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. I think the AFC is still a good deal better than the NFC. We'll probably get letters for that. But, the way the Colts took care of the Cardinals and your Patriots disposed of the Falcons, I think we could still say that.
Well, if you're going to – so the top 3 NFC teams,
here's the thing. With the Giants, I guess, have to be number 1. But,
yes.
They beat a lousy Redskins team. They beat a lousier Bucs team, and they beat the Cowboys, who's probably lousy, by 2 points. So that
was a good win, though.
NFC? Yeah.
No, that Monday night, the Sunday night Dallas game was a good win. I was happy with that for them.
I won't take it away from them, but their defense struggled a little bit. But the Saints, I guess, are 1 or 2 in the NFC. What would you say?
I would have them 2. I think Giants are 1, and then I don't think the NFC North has shaken out yet.
Yeah,
I don't know which team I would put at the top out of those 3.
Yeah, well, we have to see a little more. I think we have to see a little more from everyone. You sent me your power rankings, I think, before you put it out in the column. You said, how does this look? And I said, I think it looks good, but it's crazy to do it this early. There's 32 teams. 21-1 teams could be 0-2 or 2-0. But I understand. You have to put it out. People need
I actually ended up not running in the column because it was too early. I was trying to get more of a feel of, are there teams that I don't realize are as bad as they are? Is there a team that's the 24th best team, and in my head I'm thinking they're 14th? Mm-hmm. So from that respect, it helps. But you're right. If you're going to bet your life on 3 teams right now to make the Super Bowl and you can only pick 3, I think I would take Giants, Baltimore, New Orleans.
I would take Baltimore for sure. I would take God. It's weird that you can't even consider Pittsburgh because they're possibly on their way to having a 3rd loss.
They have some real issues, though. I think you can only get away for so long with not being able to do anything on 3rd and short and 4th and short.
I go those 3 as well.
Yeah, right? I mean, maybe you could make a case.
The Jets are not completely sold on.
I was going to think of Indy, maybe. You could talk yourself into Manning. Yeah. But, I watched them.
I'll take Indy over New Orleans. I think Indy plays New Orleans on a neutral field. They win that game right now.
Yeah, my only thing with the Saints is their defense is fast this year. I don't know what happened to the defense last year, and I know they did some tweaks, and they drafted a defensive back in the first round and all that stuff, but it does seem like they have a lot of guys flying on the ball this year, which is always a recipe for something good happening.
But let's look at this. The Saints have played Matthew Stafford, Kevin Cobb, Trent Edwards,
right,
and now Sanchez. Sanchez will be the best of the 4 possibly that they've faced.
Right.
I need to see a little more to put them in the top 3.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's a weak defense.
No, it's better. It's definitely better.
All right. Let's do
All
the
right.
lines. Week 4.
Let's do it. And here's the deal. What I'm 2-1. I've won 2 of the 3 weeks, and at the end of the season, whoever wins more weeks gets to slap the loser with a giant Subway sub, right?
Yes, and I actually, I'm not going to share this email with you, or maybe I did accidentally, but a Subway employee sent me an email of what he thought would be the perfect sub, and he had a lot of good ideas.
I want to see that. Well, I'm going to win.
No.
Why he should send it to me?
Why should I send that to you? That's my information.
I see. Well, maybe you'll be more confident in your picks that way.
You know, because we're not even factoring in the bread choices.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking it should be. They should start building this thing now, and so that it's like 15-week-old bread. I mean, I don't want you to get a concussion or something, but it'd be nice if you were dazed from this. It'd be fun.
The thing is, if when it comes down to the actual hitting the sub, I know I'd hold back. You won't. You'll try to knock me unconscious. It's going to be like Piper with the coconuts. Piper and Snuka beforehand, like, you're not going to really hit me with the coconuts that hard, right? No, it'll be fine. And then you knock me unconscious.
Yeah, you better hit me hard. We're going to have to make back gambling money on this pay-per-view event, this sub-smashing.
It's going to be awesome. All right, week 4 lines. Let's go.
Here we go. Detroit at Chicago. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I hit this one exactly. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on. Because I wrote down all my picks this week because I didn't want to lose. All right, here we go. I have Bears 11.
All right, you just missed 10.5. 10.5.
I got to say, I'm not sold on the Bears.
Well, I'm not. You can't be. I mean, yeah, like that.
Very good.
That's the one division you have to see more games in, the NFC North. And on behalf of all Matt Forte owners out there, Lions, you got your win. Can you take the next 19 games off, or at least this one? Let Forte get in the end zone. Let everything even out a little here.
Who's the number 2 pick right now if a fantasy draft happens?
I would
Drew
say
Brees?
Fred Jackson.
Is it Drew Brees?
I don't know. It's close. Who is it? It's so screwed up. Aren't Benson and Jackson like 3 and 4 in the league in rushing?
I think Drew Brees goes too.
I hate it. I hate the whole thing. Yeah, Brees probably right there. Cincy at Cleveland.
You believe in the Bengals yet?
Oh, man. I was getting on everyone's case for saying the Bengals could possibly win that game, and then they go out and do it.
Well, they should have lost. The guy missed the tackle on the 4th and whatever. How do you not bring down the backup fullback?
Yeah. Lima Swede drops the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, that was a tough loss. But credit to the Bengals. They never gave up. I have Bengals by 4.5.
All right, that's what I had, and it's 4. So we tie. But it's gone to 5.5. It opened at 4. It went to 5.5.
Looks like a tease. The Browns.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that a team that hired a new coach was already done within 2 weeks, but that's where it looks like we are.
The Browns have a chance to solidify their position as the worst team in football, and they better not screw it up by making this a game, really.
Well, don't count out the Rams.
That's true.
The Rams have some things up their sleeve this year.
Yeah, no kidding. Oakland at Houston.
Yeah, see that? I think this is a tough week. I would almost settle for. Well, I don't want to say that because then it always happens. But man, you always hate having these 2 crappy teams with the one team favored by a lot.
Yeah. Vegas has been kind of weird. Like, imagine, and you called it last week. We should have just jumped on it. Oakland started a favorite last week.
I know.
Then it ended up Denver didn't even get to 3, right?
Right.
Never a game.
Somehow I went 10-6 last week and lost my 2 bets. But Texans by 8 I have over the Raiders.
All right, you'll get this because I said 7.5 and it's 9.5.
That's too high.
So it's 2-2.
Yeah,
now, the Seattle Indy, it's now Tuesday morning. I haven't found the line on this. Is it because Hasselbeck might play or might not? I mean, I haven't found one thing. You want to guess? I said Indy 12. I don't know.
Really? I had 9.5.
You did? All right. Well, we'll have to leave that one blank.
I guess that's we both win. We're all winners.
Yeah. Tennessee at Jacksonville. All right, here we go.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is a nice one.
What do you think?
I have Titans by 2.5.
Wow. You got it. I had Jacksonville by 3. It's actually Tennessee by 1. I just thought, is anyone going to bet this game different if the Jags are given 2 points? I don't know.
It's
0-3 team on the road giving points.
You look at who the Titans lost to. If they barely lose to the Steelers, then what happened in week? Who'd they lose to in week 2?
The Texans, who Jacksonville
Texans.
beat.
Yeah, that was a weird game, though. And then last week, the Jets game, man, they dominated the last 3 quarters of that game. I don't know how they lost.
I guess if we throw must-win around a lot, but if there's a must-win, I guess it's Tennessee this week, right?
Well, and then you look at how they played, and the Jets didn't even convert a third down for like the last 2.5 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving up on the Titans. I actually could see them rallying back, and I think it starts this week. I think the Jags stink.
All right, that'll be a fun one to watch. Giants at Chiefs.
This is a tough one because you got the Arrowhead, which usually they factor in, but the Chiefs look so freaking bad. I have Giants by 10.
You get that one too. I said 8.5. It's 9.5.
All right.
So you're up 4-2 on me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the ciabatta bread.
I don't know what to say. I still think the Giants are awful in my mind. I don't know why it works out that way.
The problem is when they get a lead, they just expand it because they can just pound the ball and do the whole thing. Like once they're up by 10, it's going to end with them winning by 20.
Yeah, and if they face a quarterback that's any less than average, they're just gonna kill that team, I think.
One thing to keep an eye on: we haven't had a bad weather day for Eli yet.
Oh, that's true.
Could be maybe a little like hint of a tornado or something in KC with the wind swirling around.
Ooh,
and it could just fall apart.
Yeah, that could be good. All right, Baltimore at New England.
That's the game of the week, right?
There's like 4 of them. I like this one.
Vikings Pack. I forgot.
I like Jets Saints is good.
This is a great game.
Let me guess. You love the Ravens.
I do like the Ravens a little.
Unbelievable.
Listen, if I can buy the Pats a 15-1 season by going against them every week, I'm going to. Don't think I won't.
No, I think you are maybe in a little trouble. I mean, if Brady has to do it again with Edelman and a hobbled Randy Moss, this is going to be a tough one.
The real issue is that, we don't have a third receiver. Brady he sailed a lot of passes. If he's moving around and he has to get his feet set, the ball is going high.
Yep.
But anyway, normally I would say -3, but I think people like this Ravens team, so I'm going to say Pats by 2.5.
All right. I said 3, and it opened at 3, so I get it. But it's moved to 2. So.
Oh, the weird Sal rule where you.
Oh, come on. We have to go by.
It opened at a casino outside of Vegas on Sunday at 4 at 3, so I get that.
Well, listen, I picked the lines at Sunday night, and then I check what they are, and now it's a couple of days have passed, but we have to go by something.
This is ridiculous.
So
where does that game end? At a pick'em?
We can't go that much lower than that.
Because my theory was it would start at 2.5 and it would drop to an outright pick'em at game time.
Really? People love the Patriots, though. Maybe 1.5. I think you should be allowed to steal signs this game. Ray Lewis could be in jail. This the NFL to make this an interesting game. Let you go back to your cheating ways.
Oh.
This would be the way to do it.
Yeah. I'm stammering. I got to say, though, with the Ravens, they did take care of business last week, which is what a really good team is supposed to do. They hadn't had a blowout yet. I even wrote in my picks column, if this is a good team, they need to blow out the Browns, and that's exactly what they did. So they showed us everything we want to see.
Even if they lose, I think they're a top 3 team.
Yeah. Is this a must-win game for them? Probably.
What's that?
Not a total must-win game for them, but more of a message game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Send a message for January. Tampa Bay at Washington.
Another
way off in this one. I was.
Well, this is like the Texans-Raiders game where you have a crappy team at home against an abhorrently crappy team, which is always a tough one.
And this is Josh Johnson on the road, right?
Yeah. Josh Johnson on the blank is not a good thing. I have Redskins.
Johnson in his backyard wouldn't do it.
I had the Redskins by 8.
You're going to get this one. I was stupid. I said 4.5, and it was 7.5.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, that was bad for me. All right, you're up 5-3. By the way, didn't we say in the first podcast that we should just bet against the 3 teams that fired their offensive coordinator a week before the season starts? And
we did.
Who was that? Tampa, Kansas City, and what am I, Buffalo?
I've picked against all 3 of those teams every single week. And I think I've gone 8-1.
I know that's exactly what it is. Those three teams are 1-8, and only because Tampa played Buffalo. Otherwise, they fought hard to tie that game. I understand, but yeah, those teams have lost every game just about.
In my column, I'm 34-14, and the reason is I went against those three teams that fired their offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
When in doubt, I go with the road team. Yeah. And I really like the Saints and the Broncos, so I picked them every week. Those are the only three things I did different than any other year, and all three have worked for whatever reason. You
should keep doing that. This is, I should do that. I should do something. I'm not going to have any money left.
Well, I wrote a column about this a few years ago. It was called The Symbiotics, where it's...
I didn't even know you wrote columns. I just thought...
Yeah, I write columns, on ESPN.com.
Okay.
But it's like you really the first 3 weeks of picking or gambling or whatever, you have to stick to your guns from how you felt before the season, because that's your best chance to have an edge on Vegas.
No, I understand, but you know how it is. When we were betting through in college and you saw the Raiders were giving points to Denver and you jumped on Denver, more times than not, you'd get screwed over, right?
Yes.
I'm like a beaten dog. I just know that I'm going to get the hammer soon.
Oh, no, listen. I tried this last year, and it was a disaster. I think I was like 10 games under 500 after 3 weeks. So basically, you just have to be lucky that you hit the teams that you like. But the one thing I've noticed this year, and Chad Millman has done a good job of pointing this out on the ESPN Insider, is the smart money, the people always going against the grain. Oh, the public money's going this way, so I'm going to wait till the last minute. I'm going to go this way. That's been losing this year. The games that have swung, the only time with the Bengals-Broncos, week 1 was the only time that the smart money ended up, doing it. But like last week, that people tried that with the Titans and they lost.
Yeah, well, that Denver game moved 3 points in the favor, and they won easily.
Yeah.
So. All right, late afternoon games, Buffalo at Miami. I was way off in this one too. To give you a little hint.
Well, Chad Henne.
Yep.
See, I still think it's Dolphins by 2.5.
All right, I said Dolphins by 3. It opened Bills by 2, and now it's Bills by 3.
That's interesting.
I don't get it at all. I don't know.
Well, the Bills lost to the Pats and the Saints, and they beat up on somebody bad, the Bucks.
Beat the Bucks, yeah.
So maybe Vegas is thinking that the Bills are a good bad team.
Well, this is purely on the quarterback switch, I think, right? I mean, we're 5 points off. But you think Pennington was Unitas the way this line moved, but, it'd be one thing if they didn't snap the ball to their tailback 80% of the time, but isn't that what Dolphins do?
I got to give Joe Meade some credit. Joe Meade?
I think you could take away the credit, seeing as he doesn't even listen to the podcast. The producer
Joe Meade.
of the show.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, I'm here.
So you warned us that Trent Edwards was terrible.
You're welcome.
Joe said, I think 2 weeks ago, that people don't realize that Trent Edwards is awful. I watch him every game. He stinks. Mm-hmm. And last week, Joe was vindicated because Trent Edwards really stunk against the Saints and did not play well and cost them that game. Mm-hmm. So I want to give Joe some props.
All right, well, the only thing I'll say, Joe, I mean, thanks for the heads up, Joe, but this year Trent Edwards has a receiver in Terrell Owens who's going to nurture him through the process. I mean, he's going to get better. Oh, no way. He'll be much worse.
Who has quit on their quarterback more, Terrell Owens or Roy Williams?
You see, Terrell Owens.
Last night was great.
In Roy Williams' defense, I don't think he's athletic at all, if that's any defense. But, Roy Williams drops a pass. Like, they're obviously trying to get Romo a touchdown pass, running that fade route in the end zone twice in a row, and then kicking a field goal from the 1. But Roy Williams is laughing. That ball wasn't even broken up. It was in his hands, went right through. He's having a great time out there.
Well, what about the play? Roy Williams beat the guy off the line of scrimmage, held his arm up for the deep pass, and Romo missed him.
Yeah.
And Roy Williams just slows down.
Right. He should have gotten to that, right?
Well, and then, so they showed the replay of it, and then they cut back, and Roy Williams is just making his way, like, past the 15-yard line. Like, he really had to milk it. Like, man, I should have had a touchdown there, and my QB stinks.
He's terrible.
And milked it for 30 seconds.
I know, exactly. When I was at the Cowboys-Giants game, I don't think they show the replay, but Roy Williams, if he thinks he's open, and he doesn't get thrown to, he stands right where he was on his route with his hands on his hip, like, hey, take a look at me. Meanwhile, everyone's back in the huddle. It's like, all right, great. Oh, wow,
Yeah.
You're still open? That makes sense.
Yeah, he's like a basketball player that you wouldn't want to play with.
Yeah.
The guy who always thinks he's open and the guy who tries to show you up.
Mhm.
I don't feel good about the Cowboys. I hate to break that to you, but
All right. Well, we haven't even
the
got to
chemistry
this.
looks off.
Let's get to them then. Dallas at Denver. Now, I know you have the Broncos winning the Super Bowl, but they'll be one of the worst 4-0 teams in recent memory if they pull this off, right?
Listen, all I said was that I thought they'd get to 10 wins, and I think they will be 4-0 after this week. I have the Broncos favored by 1.5.
Oh, wow. No, it's Dallas. I had Dallas by 3.5. It's Dallas by 3.
That's
I get that
outrageous. That is ridiculous. That's outrageous. That's the dumbest line of the entire month.
All right, you know what? Let you and I just a little side bet, $50,000. Let's take on that game.
Yeah, the Cowboys have really looked great. That's
Well,
ridiculous. The Broncos have been, I know they've been beating up bad teams, but they're playing great. They're healthy.
They've beaten terrible teams. They've beaten the Browns and the Raiders. This is what I mean. Like, you can't come out with a rankings this early. The Browns and the Raiders, and they a fluky win against the Bengals.
Yeah, but they still won. They're 3-0. They have a lot of confidence.
The
Your team
Cowboys
played
could
Monday
very
night.
well. We could very well lose this game, but the Broncos are not that good.
I love the Broncos.
You have Jay Cutler. You know, DeMarcus Ware is going to get a sack one of these days.
Jay Cutler's in the Bears.
I'm sorry.
Kyle Orton, you meant. Yeah.
Kyle Orton. It's even worse. I gave you credit.
I'll go one further. In our West Coast Fantasy League, of which I'm 1 and 2, I'm starting Kyle Orton this week.
Oh, I
over
love
Tony
it.
Romo. I'm
And
starting
I'm not playing
over
you.
Tony Romo.
Wow. And
Yeah.
I'm not even playing you. All right.
Tony can go to hell. I'm going to go with my man Kyle Orton.
All right. St. Louis at San Francisco.
Did we miss a game? Did we do Saints Jets?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's another one. That's next.
You were going right down the order of how I'd written down my picks,
Yeah.
and then you skipped Saints Jets.
All right.
Saints Jets is a great game. They're really good games this week.
Let's do Jets Saints. Go ahead. What do you think?
5.5 Saints.
All right, you get it because I said 5, and it's 6.5, and it's now moved to 7. That seems high to me.
You know why? Because Mark Sanchez hasn't really, and I know he's getting a lot of props, and
He went to
excited
Houston
about
and
him.
won. He won in
Huh?
Houston. He went to Houston and won his first game.
I'm down with all that. All I'm saying is they've done a nice job of kind of hiding him, and he hasn't made mistakes, but he's not really dominating games either. Like he's just kind of there. He's doing the Trent Dilfer 2000 Ravens routine.
Yeah.
But he's not winning games for them, and he's not, getting these crushing third downs, all that stuff. Like they left that door wide open for Tennessee last week, and Tennessee just for whatever reason they just kept messing up. But I'm not sold on Sanchez yet. Everyone's so excited about him, and I'm not sure how much of it has to do with
Not
football.
either, but I think maybe they're the type of offense that doesn't need to rely on him. I guess he does need to make more third down conversions, but
at some point they're going to watch these tapes. At some point they're going to watch these tapes and they're going to say, "All right, you know what? This week you're beating us, Mark Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to throw 45 times for 325 yards, and you're going to have to beat us."
All right. Well, I'd love to see that game. I hope that's how it turns out. St. Louis at San Francisco.
No Frank Gore.
No Frank Gore.
And you know what? I don't think it's going to matter.
Matthew Berry told us all to take Coffee at running back, and we anyone who took him probably dropped him in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now he's going to be a superstar.
I don't think the no Frank Gore thing is going to matter. I say Niners by 9.5.
Yeah, you got it. I said it was favored by even more. I said 11.5. It's 10. So you got it. You're way ahead here.
Wow, you went 11.5 on that with Glenn Coffey.
It's the Rams. Why not? They'll lose by 2 touchdowns to everyone, won't they?
Glenn Iced Coffee.
Is that what he's called him already?
No, I don't know.
Mr. Coffee?
Glenn Mr. Coffee!
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, listen, the great Vince Lombardi once said the best way to regroup after a devastating loss is to play the Rams at home. I think it could be 2 touchdowns.
Well, this is what's really changed, in my opinion, in gambling in the last 5-6 years, is that these bad teams at home, it's almost more depressing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather pick the Rams like in Washington than pick the Rams.
Oh, I see.
Oh, they're on the road this week, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
that Rams-Packers game, I was just kicking myself within 2
Right.
minutes because it's like they don't have a home field advantage. It's actually a
You're right.
disadvantage to play in a half-empty stadium where everybody hates the team.
Well, the craziest that, for example, to support your point, the craziest that Tampa crowd got was, I think, in the fourth quarter or it was late in the third when the Bucs converted their first down, and they got a standing ovation, sarcastic standing ovation.
Right.
So you're right.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it.
Well, and then the other thing, we should factor this in, especially when the Giants are playing. Giants, Cowboys, Steelers, maybe even the Raiders, a team that doesn't sell out if those teams are on the road, and it seems like 15, 20,000 fans of the other team shows up, that's demoralizing for the home team.
All right. Well,
let's monitor that.
That flies again in the face of your our $50,000 bet where you have Denver at home this week. But
Denver, they'll sell out that game.
No, I thought you were saying because I see. If the home team doesn't sell out, all right.
Yeah, I'm saying if Denver had a half full stadium, then the other half would be Cowboy fans happy to go to that game, and then it's almost a home game.
Right. All right. The night game is San Diego at Pittsburgh. It was a great game.
Yeah, this is almost a tipping point game for one of these teams.
This might be I don't want to say must-win. Tennessee has the biggest must-win tag, but
Number
you don't
two
want
must-win.
3 losses by the first week in October if you're Pittsburgh. I mean, 6 could be too many in the AFC.
This is a great game. I'm going to say Pittsburgh by 5.5.
Yeah, I said that too, and it's 5. It opened at 5, but it's gone to 6.5 now. So I like Pittsburgh here.
Yeah, I got to say one thing about my man Phil Rivers, who's not my man. That guy throws the deep ball.
Yeah.
They make long 40, 45 yards in the air pass plays, and they actually convert them.
It's nice. It really is nice. I look at Tony Roman. I'm like, we need one play that's us 35 yards in the air, and we can win this game, and it doesn't get there. And Rivers, yeah, you're right. He's good for 3 or 4 of those.
I don't know why the Chargers aren't doing better.
Yeah.
You watch
them.
They're
all right. They're 2-1 and lost to the Ravens, right?
I know, but the Dolphins game, that game was in danger. Like, they should have crushed the Dolphins. Yeah. Why are you having such a hard time beating Miami? Yeah. Pennington goes out. They're still, like, barely struggling in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. By the way, our friend Dave, you haven't been there the last 2 weeks. You haven't been to my cousin Jimmy's. You know, the Steelers don't lose much. It would be good if you were there, rubbing it in a little bit.
With Dave?
Yeah.
Who's Dave?
Oh,
Dave,
man.
Dave Rath?
You're lucky he doesn't listen to this. You're lucky.
What's that? I like he's doing an imitation of me now on his podcast, and he's making me sound like Robert Downey in Tropic Thunder, which I've always wanted to sound like that, so that's nice of him.
I think you sound more like Morton Downey, but yeah.
It sounds like Robbie Benson in Robert Downey's Tropic Thunder makeup. Is how it comes out. Anyway.
Thank God he doesn't listen to every word we say. Otherwise, this could be a problem.
Yeah, his hairs are on end.
Green Bay at Minnesota Monday night. I guess this is the game of the week.
Possibly the biggest telecast in ESPN history.
Did they put this on just like when they made the schedule a couple years? They're like, there's maybe a 3% chance Brett Favre screws around and ends up in the Vikings.
That would be if they did do that, that guy should get a raise.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because this is like, it'll definitely be the highest rated football game we've ever had, but I don't know how it would compare to everything else. I really find it hard to believe we could get a bigger rating for anything than Vikings-Packers.
Mm-hmm. Well, you must be like me. You have the casual football fan coming up to you like, oh, you must be so excited about that Brett Favre pass. Like, well, no. First of all, we had the 49ers in our fake upset special, right?
Yeah,
the Falcons. So that was lousy. And secondly, I want Favre to go away. I wanted him to be out by week 5. Now we have to listen to this all day for the next 7 days. I want Rosenfels to be in there. And, he put up that prayer pass that could have just as easily been picked, and he would have, there would have been problems. But now he's
stunk the whole game. He stunk the whole game. Hey, if there's been a recurring theme in Brett Favre's career, it's been his ability to pull those plays out of his butt, which at some point you can't say is luck. Like, he has a knack for something about, I don't know, the way his brain works. I don't know how many quarterbacks make that play. I really
Really?
don't. Like stepping up and hitting that guy back in the end zone. It's like he has this innate ability to just nail those guys.
I hate giving him that much credit, but I guess
It's true, though. Who else?
You're going to criticize him for the left-handed interception he throws in 3 weeks. I guess we have to give him credit for this, too.
Well, this is, 3-0, and now he has completely reeled the Viking fans in.
Yeah.
Like, except for maybe there's like 1% who still have their guard up. The other 99% are in now.
Yeah.
So, if this plays out badly, there's going to be a lot of pain and a lot of agony.
Just Aaron Campman, just end his career, drive his shoulder into the ground. What a story it would be. We need a movie ending here.
I'm going to say Vikings by 3.5.
All right. You finished me off, but good. I said 4.5. It opened at 3, so you get it. It's gone to 4. And I like the Packers. I don't know why, but I like the Packers here.
I like
Big
them
win for
too.
you here.
I like them as well. I will say, though, that between Adrian Peterson and Percy Harvin, I don't think there is a more terrifying team to bet against than Minnesota. Because those guys are frightening. Every Percy Harvin return is terrifying. Every time Peterson gets a pitch, it's terrifying. So I might stay away. I might pick the Packers, but I don't know if I'd bet them.
Maybe we take it on a teaser or something. I don't know.
The Vikings have more going for and against them from a gambling standpoint than any team I can remember. Because every time they show Childress, it's terrifying if you have Minnesota. And every time Favre is like running around, you just assume something bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
But
I feel the same way about Wade Phillips. They show him, and I get that Dr. Melfi Sopranos feeling like, I want to leave the room. I'm embarrassed with me and the show, and please, let's get through this.
Were they? See, I heard a rumor that he wasn't at the game, and they were using stock footage of him with his mouth open. That's not true?
It may as well. What are we going to do for our upset?
They should loop in footage of various disasters like the tsunami in Thailand, just with Wade Phillips staring there with his mouth open.
It's weird. He
All
never gains or loses weight, and he's always wearing the same thing. Oh, wait, it's the same shot.
I like the Chargers as our upset.
All right. Wow.
Who do you like?
I just, man.
It's got to be 4 or more.
I like the Jets. I know you don't like that.
Jets at New Orleans.
Is Joe Mead alive? How much fake money do we have left?
We have 700 left, I think.
Oh my God.
Oh no, we might have 1,100 left because we lost 500 in week 2 and we lost 1,000 last week, but we won 2,600 the first week.
Yeah, you got 1,100 left.
Oh, look who's here.
Joe Mead. Welcome back.
We have 1,100 left?
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to do?
Tell me why you don't like the Chargers.
I just think the Titans are a must-win. Not that means they're going to win. And then I think the Steelers are a close second as far as must-wins. But I like the idea of that's the best team you could bet and get 2-to-1 odds on the Chargers. I do like that.
I guess they're no center, banged up. I just worry about the Jets that the bandwagon is so overflowing at this point that that never leads to anything. You know what? Not a crazy pick is the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Well, the Texans just aren't good. What have they done to deserve an 8-point line over anybody?
Yeah, that's true. I like them to cover, but
who did the Raiders lose to last week? They got smoked by somebody good.
Broncos. Right? They weren't even ever in that game. I mean, he's so bad, Russell. He's so bad.
Yeah, he is bad. Can't do him.
Well, why don't we just split these? Why don't we just take both these teams?
You don't like the Lions at all? Maybe getting 11 in Chicago?
No, they're partying. Getting 11, yeah. We're picking an upset though, right?
I know, but I'm saying like there's no bigger. What have the Chicago done to make us think that they're good?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I mean, Orlando Pace looked like a corpse. Did you watch that Seattle game? They were just going by him like he was a turnstile.
Yeah.
And I'm not crazy about their defense either.
Oh, well, let me take a look at
if Seneca Wallace was half decent in that game, Seattle wins easily by 10 points.
Yeah. All right,
I'm going to go with
the Lions. They're plus 325. The Lions would be.
See, I feel like the Jets-Saints is this week's version of last week's Falcons-Pats game, where the Jets don't need the game. It's an NFC team. If they lose, no biggie. They're still 3-1. I don't see any urgency from them in this game.
All right, I'm going for you. Whatever you say, because I'm snake bitten. I mean, if Brett Favre's going to ruin that, I mean, that 49ers pick was that was divine. That was really nice. And that stupid Brett Favre puts it through. Whatever
you know, in my column, I picked Niners 23-20 too. I would have nailed it exact.
Wow.
What a bogus loss that was.
You should be angrier than I am. San Diego's plus 220.
I was very, very, very angry.
Yeah.
We don't like Josh Johnson in Washington?
No, I don't like that.
Not a fan of his?
What are they going to do?
Could the Packers count us? You said the Packers are 4 now, right?
The plus 155, so.
Is that line 4, though? Because if it's 4, they qualify.
It's 4, yeah.
Let's
you want to do that? Let's take the Packers.
Yeah, let's do the Packers.
I like the Packers anyway.
Let's put 1,000 on them to win 155.
Well, listen, here's the thing. When you want to do this podcast next Monday, we can't do it, right? We got to be able to talk about it.
No, we'll do it Tuesday next week.
All right.
We'll do it Tuesday morning. Anything else, Cousin Sal?
What are we doing? We're doing 1,000 fake dollars on the Packers plus 155?
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a strong pick. You're right about the Chargers. I really like the Chargers. I'm probably going to pick them, but you're right. The must-win potential for the Steelers. I still think that's a 3-point line. Yeah. I knew the line was going to be that high, but I think those teams are dead even, in my opinion.
This will get easier for us as time goes on, I think. So.
I sure hope so. All right, Cousin Sal.
All right,
Talk
buddy.
To you next week.
Take care. Watch the show. Ricky Gervais on Jimmy Kimmel Live. It's one of our big guests this week, and then it just gets bigger and bigger.
Cool. We'll be tuning in.
Fantastic.
All right, bye-bye.
Hello?
Stoner.
Yo.
You're on the podcast.
Hey.
You got 4 minutes. 4 minutes to tell America about the travesty that is the 2009 Tampa Bay Bucs season. This is Rob Stone, by the way, of ESPN.
Oh, are we doing this now?
Yeah, you're online. Right? We just called you.
That is unbelievable. I'm standing on the top of the dugout of the LSU baseball team here in Baton Rouge.
Congratulations.
Last time I talked to you. Yes. You want to talk NFL? The Buccaneers. Oh, my Lord. What has happened? What has happened to the Buccaneers, to Cleveland, to Kansas City, Washington? It's horrible. It's horrible. The Bucs, I don't know. I don't even know where to start with my Bucs because I love them. Ahoy, ahoy the Bucs. But there are no expectations for the team this year, and they've done a wonderful job living up to it.
Well, now you have 3 minutes. Explain the whole quarterback thing that happened.
So Byron Leftwich and the offense actually were putting up good numbers yard-wise, right, for the first couple of weeks, and then he has a miserable 3 quarters, and they go to the guy who's essentially their second stringer, a second-year pro, Josh Johnson, and he's got quick feet and mobility and a rifle of an arm, and for one series he plays. They don't score any points, but he has a nice drive, and the coach says, no, Byron Leftwich is our starter on. He says that on Sunday after the game, and then Monday he says, you know what, no, here's my guy who I said is a career backup is now my starter. And all of a sudden Leftwich is third on the depth chart, and rookie Josh Freeman is second. They have given up on the season, and they're handing it over to a guy that in the beginning of camp they weren't even sure was going to make the team.
And he said, as you said, he said about Josh Johnson, this guy is a career backup. I'd love for him to be my backup for my entire coaching career. Some quote like that, right?
What kind of compliment is that? I mean, like, hey, I'd love to have a paycheck for as long as I can, an NFL paycheck. But you don't say those things because you never know. I mean, how many times have you seen a guy who's a backup come up and become a star as a starter? I mean, you don't knock this guy down. I mean, that's a rookie head coach saying something stupid like that. I mean, just change the wording a little bit and your point can still get across. Hey, this is a guy who can play in the NFL and is going to be around for a long time. That's all you got to say.
Well, we figured this was going to happen eventually with one of these really, really young coaches that let's just roll the dice with this guy. He's young, but who cares about youth anymore? At some point, one of these guys is just going to be way over his head and awful. Could that be Raheem Morris?
It very well could be. I mean, this is about the only time he's kind of manned up and said, hey, this one's on me. We're going to make this call. We're going in this direction. But, a lot of things they've done have been very dicey in Tampa, and the tide has turned. I mean, it's not a good scene. There's going to be, there's going to be blackouts in Tampa sooner than later. Wow. What this team has.
Really? I mean, blackouts?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, people aren't going to show up for this. The Glazers aren't going to keep buying tickets. I mean, it's a bad product out there. I mean, the defense is porous. They can't stop anybody. There's no really talented players that you're excited. I mean, is there a Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey you want, that America wants right now? maybe Cadillac Williams. I don't know. I mean, who knows what he's going to rupture next? I don't know.
Maybe you go with Cadillac Williams if you yourself have had reconstructive knee surgery.
Exactly.
Like wearing the breast cancer awareness pink ribbon or something.
That's right. You just have like dangling tendons on a little pin.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, they spent a lot of money on Derek Ward, and then he doesn't play all the time, which was weird.
They spent all this money on him, and then they essentially say, we're going to have a running back by committee. You know, this guy's going to get the first series, this guy gets the next series, this guy gets the next series. I mean, they got Cadillac, Ward, and Ernest Graham, who got injured and didn't play last week. So you spend all this money on a guy, you're only going to give, how many series to a game? You know, and particularly with the way the Bucs played offense the other day, you're looking at a running back who's getting maybe 2 or 3 series a game. Come on. Use your money wiser than that. Right?
So the Redskins giving a touchdown.
Redskins Bucs this week. What a game.
So you like the Redskins?
Yes. Yes, I do. Unfortunately.
Yeah, the Bucs it's really hard to sort out who the top 3 awful teams in the NFL are, but the Bucs at least have to be in the discussion now.
Yeah, and you know the worst part about it is like there's no real excitement about it. Like, you can have a bad team. Like, the Bucs have been bad in the past, like when Dungy took over. Yeah. But at least you saw some young talent out there, and you're like, hey, man, I can't wait. You know, this Derek Brooks guy, this Mike Allstott kid, you know, this John Lynch, and Warren, you know, at least there was like something out there that you could say, hey, you know what, down the road, this may work. This may be all right. This is just kind of like a bunch of characters, you know, and I'm just waiting for Keller Winslow to explode. I can't wait for that day. That's just around the corner, my friend.
Maybe that will happen this week. I'm excited for that. All right, we have to go. Your 4 minutes are up. We'll have you back on, though, because we got to talk soccer. Oh, wait, when's the big RFK Stadium game?
That's a ways down the road, Costa Rica. They got another one first. They got to go down to Honduras as of now, assuming anybody is allowed in and out of that country.
All right. Well, we'll call you before the big RFK Stadium game.
All right. See you
Rob
soon,
Stone, thanks for coming on the BS Report.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye-bye.
So I get the sign off. Whoa!
Thank you for downloading the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Pod Center at ESPNradio.com.
Peace out.